So our topic was Dylan Mulvaney and the Bud Light controversy. So Bud Light is one of the many beer brands owned by Anheuser-Busch. It's a leading beer brand in the U.S. So Anheuser-Busch really created Bud Light along with some of their other brands. It was created later on, and really it picked up some speed in the Super Bowl when they featured Spuds McKenzie, which was a bull terrier. Um, and the commercial was just really successful, helped Bud Light with their sales, and then in turn, in a few years, Bud Light ended up surpassing Budweiser to become America's #1 best-selling beer. And it was just used for all these different occasions. You know, it was very cheap, affordable, those kinds of things.
Dylan Mulvaney is a transgender influencer. She's very popular. She gained her popularity through a series on her TikTok called Days of Girlhood, where she would talk about her transition from male to female. She built her influence and her popularity through being open and honest with her fans about how she was feeling through her transition and all this kind of stuff. She recently became a very well-known transgender icon, and she also got a facial feminization surgery to look more like a woman. To celebrate her 1-year anniversary of her series, Days of Girlhood, she partnered with Bud Light to do a sponsorship.
Okay, so Bud Light, they originally had a PR strategy and really just a lot of advertisements, and like their marketing techniques were very much focused on men. So it was very masculine. I actually included on here one of their campaigns. They made videos. It was supposed to be kind of like a joke almost, but it was definitely masculine type of branding. And then even the Bud Light night. Knights are supposed to be courageous. They have a lot of integrity. So, and they're really strong. So it's just a lot of masculine qualities associated with the brand.
So this is the video that started the whole thing.
All right. So following that video,
Oh my gosh, no way.
just likes us too much, you know? But following that video, Bud
Huh.
Light fans, they responded in a few different ways. So some of the fans, they were
Sorry.
No, you're good. Some of the fans were shocked that they weren't expecting Dylan and Bud Light to collaborate, especially because of the masculine type of appeal of marketing PR strategies. Some fans didn't care because they just saw the collaboration and they're like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'll still buy the product. And then some people hated it. A lot of people saw the reactions to this, such as those done by Kid Rock when he shot up a bunch of cases of Bud Light. So it was just kind of a big deal when that happened. So, and then there was a lot of economic repercussions because of it. So Bud Light lost a lot of sales, and where Bud Light lost their sales, their competitors gained those sales. So it was really just a trade-off between the companies. And Bud Light ended up losing its title of being the best-selling beer brand in the U.S. to Modelo Especial. Sorry for totally botching that name. But I think a big issue with that was brand loyalty. Modelo has a really big following when it comes to brand loyalty, especially because of their Hispanic heritage, whereas Bud Light was really lacking in its loyalty through the branding. And then after a few months, Anheuser-Busch had to let go of some of its employees, including their executive Alyssa Heinerscheid and the president of marketing Daniel Blake.
So Dylan fans mostly reacted in 3 different ways. Some of them were shocked. They were shocked to see Bud Light with Dylan and Dylan with Bud Light because they perceived the drink as Bud Light intended it for masculine, straight, white men. Other fans didn't care. They saw Dylan as trustworthy and trusted her to only take brands with good people. Other people supported it because they saw it as a win for the LGBTQ plus community, and they thought of Bud Light as now affirming to their identity.
All right, so in the highlighted yellow, that's the official Bud Light apology. We never intended to be a part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over beer. That was said by the CEO, Brendan Whitworth, and it was really just an overall statement. It didn't really address the issue at hand. It was more of a general kind of broad statement. So we'll get into how people really reacted to that. And then Bud Light tried another type of PR strategy after the collaboration. They tried to play off of a meme saying it's fine, everything will be fine. They didn't really get like much success with this. In fact, it was seen as damaging to the relationship with their customer base because they weren't addressing the issue at hand. They were just kind of making a joke out of the entire situation, which maybe they weren't technically trying to make a joke, but that's how it was perceived.
So Dylan fans really were upset at Dylan after this apology because it had been months since the video came out and Dylan hadn't released anything. Eventually, after the apology and the outcry of her fans, Dylan released a video talking about her side of the story, where she basically says that she feels like she needs to be open and honest with her community and with her fan base, because that's what she built her fan base on. She talks about how she felt really scared and guilty because of all the transphobia that happened after the video was released. She also talks about how she thought Bud Light would reach out to her, but they didn't, and how in the weeks after the ad, she was followed and ridiculed, and how she says that her official response is that the way that Bud Light hired her and then did not stick by her after everything that happened is worse than not hiring her at all. She believes that working with trans artists should not be controversial. And bottom line, she says that everybody that follows her should support all trans people in light of this. So how did Dylan fans respond to Dylan's apology? It was a lot of overwhelming support. A lot of them were proud, like Connor Franta. You continue to be a shining example of poise, spirit, and resilience. Here for you and here with you, Dylan. And a lot of them were also sending their love, saying that they love them so much, saying that they love her so much, and all that kind of stuff. In response to this, Dylan also asked her fan base to send money to the Trans Law Center. She ended up raising a lot of money for the center. She also gained 87,000 followers on her Instagram. And her Instagram views went from having an average of 1 million to 2 million. She's not slowed down at all. She has continued to grow and get better and faster and stronger.
All right, so how did Bud fans respond, if they had any left? Bud fans, there was a lot of corporate hypocrisy, so a lot of people weren't happy with the apology. They saw it as disingenuous and inconsistent, so the branding was really just not it. So the company was really just on a downward spiral. And this is really where the go woke, go broke kind of quoting came in from online social media posts and stuff like that. But unlike all of this, a little bit unexpected was that Bud Light, their sales are actually starting to go back up again after all of this sort of downward spiral. So it wasn't exactly something that everybody might have expected, but it's already on the incline once again.
So what media theory can explain what happened here? The media dependency theory, which is the more a person depends on having his or her needs met by media, the more important the media is in the person's life. The audience depends on media to a degree of change or conflict present in society. Now, Bud Light had created a certain image which reflected their audience's masculine identity, where their audience felt marginalized by the LGBTQ plus community. They depended on Bud Light to represent them. When all of this happened, they really felt betrayed by Bud Light, so they got angry, causing Bud Light to respond. Now, Dylan built her community on being honest and open with her fans. Initially, her fans backed her up, And then she didn't respond for months, and they all got upset, which caused an outcry of her fans to respond, and even a drop in her follower count. Dylan successfully met her fans' needs, which caused them to feel heard and continue to support her. In short, Bud Light did a really good job with their PR, and Dylan didn't. No, opposite.
Yeah,
Bud Light did a really
bad
poor job.
Yeah,
and Dylan did a really good job.
Yep. And sorry, we had to put a joke in here at the end, so you're welcome. I hope you like it.
That's all, folks.